Hey guys, and welcome to the video. You currently join me in an incredibly hard boss battle that I probably shouldn't have tried to do the intro during. Today, I want to try and talk about morality in Fable. It's one of the bigger attributes of what made Fable so amazing. It's been in every single title so far, and we have no official confirmation, although there is hints of it returning for the reboot. So I thought in today's video we'd talk about why it's so important to Fable, why I love it so much, and why it needs to return in the reboot, and how they can improve and bring back some fan favorite features, making the morality system not only amazing like it once was, but perhaps even better. That being said, I'm kind of stressing about dying right now. So as someone who has been playing Fable since, well, the early days of Fable, I know a thing or two about why morality is so important. It was not only a key part of a lot of the marketing of Fable back in the day, but it was arguably the biggest thing that kind of set itself apart from other RPGs at the time. The fact that every action you make has consequences and people will judge you for it. Not just that, but your physical attributes will change too. This is actually a great point to showcase it, because you see, I am the good hero and this guy is the bad hero, and that's why he's got devilish wings and stuff, and it really is just that simple. There's a few visual attributes that will change depending on how you choose to play throughout the game. Now, these things have changed over the years. In Fable 3, you get devil wings. In Fable 2, you become an actual devil itself, and you have horns and everything, and it's very cool. I personally love how Fable 3's looks, actually. One of the few things I do think actually excels in this game is the art direction and how things are stylized. God damn, the difficulty is not fun right now. But yeah, let's just say that the choices you made in the game did not lead to, thank God that's over, did not lead to minor changes on your character. They had big implications, not only in the story, but perhaps even in the locations of the map. I mean, for example, one that comes to mind is Oakfield in Fable 2 will either be destroyed or thriving based on the options you pick in the game. I mean, you can join cults, you can follow the light, there's so many different things in the game that I think make the morality system just so special. I think my dog's dead. He got fireballed pretty hard, I can't lie. So yeah, there's a lot of things that kind of add into the factor. It's not just the physical change, but as I say, the map changes a lot too, and you do get different endings to quests. Another one that comes to mind is in Fable 2, you can either have a boatload of gold, you can kind of revive your loved relatives, or you can revive everyone from the Spire. And obviously those are three very drastically different endings. And even in Fable 3, you can have a kingdom that loves you and is thriving, or a kingdom that is destroyed, desolate, and hates you just because of your own greed. And one thing I love is that the game doesn't inherently reward you for picking the good options. A lot of the time, being selfish and picking the options that you would be like, oh, that's got something in it for me, tends to have pretty negative effects on the map, but not on you personally. And I think that's really cool, to be honest. Because it leaves you in this sort of morale thing, where you're like, do I be the good character and help everyone I can, but perhaps lose on some personal rewards myself? Or do I be the bad character, get all the good and greed I want, but obviously I'm hated? In Fable 1, it was even worse, because you got a really cool weapon if you pick the bad ending, and you lose that weapon if you pick the good ending. And that to me is obviously a lot more drastic than just getting a bit of gold. I mean, that's a whole weapon, and arguably the best weapon in the game too. But I do like it because obviously it adds weights to your actions, and that's what's so important. It's the reason that people can get so invested in Fable. The weight of your actions actually matter. If no matter what happened at the end of Fable 3, whether I picked the good options or the bad options, everything went back to normal, would the ending be as good or even matter? In my opinion, no. That is just what happens when you actually put weight to the player's actions, and in my opinion, it's one of the things, as I say, that really separates Fable from the average game. And what I really like about it is just how it really does change the experience for everyone. If you play as a negative hero, I know for a fact you will have a different experience to me, who always plays as the positive hero. And that's really fun. We are effectively playing two sides of the same game, and having completely different experiences. And another thing that adds to is a lot of replayability. Now, I can't play the negative hero in Fable games. I've gone my whole life playing the good guy, and I don't know why, but I feel really bad when I play the negative hero. But if I ever somehow got bored of a game like Fable 2, I know I could have an entirely different playthrough, go and play some quests entirely different to how I used to, by simply picking the bad options. And it's really that simple. And half of the time, they're not even these grand things and these grand moments. They're the small things. And that's the sort of stuff I love, to be honest. So, with the Fable reboot, I would like to see that stuff brought back. I think it would be an incredible... What the hell is this? Thanks, dog. I think it'd be an incredible waste if we didn't get any of these things returning, simply just down to how cool these features are. I mean, I'm just thinking about this being a reboot. You'd be losing not only a big amount of brand recognition by not having the good versus evil thing come back, but you'd also be losing a lot of that replayability, a lot of the weight of the actions and such, and all the things I just mentioned, basically, that made the older Fable games so great. Your decision making would be a little less deep. You wouldn't be stressing about it quite as much. The ending of the game might not matter quite as much as it would if you had actual weight on those options. And one thing that does kind of worry me about the new Fable game is I don't want it to just be this very linear game where you're playing a campaign, it'll be the same for everyone. What the hell is this over here? I really haven't explored Aurora that much. Okay. And apparently I won't be today. But not just that, it is a role-playing game, and at the end of the day, a lot of the role-playing comes into the options we all pick. And I know for a fact, if I want to play this dark, evil character, I need those options. I don't want to just be doing random hack and slash on NPCs to feel evil. Killing the average person around here isn't going to make my character feel evil. It's really about those small decisions we make within the game. But the fact that you know you're actively doing negative things, making negative deeds go out there, and people will begin to judge you on those deeds, and your character might even have physical changes based on those deeds. They're just so important to the game, man. Which again brings me back to the reboot, where it's like, with no confirmation of this stuff by now, it's a little bit worrying. To me, it was Fable's biggest brand recognition. A logo's cool, but do you not remember, like, the Fable 2 box art? How it was, like, the good guy on top and the devil at the bottom? Do you not remember all the trailers for Fable 1 where they specifically emphasized how you could be the good character or the negative character? Do you not remember Fable 3, how the entire plot based around you choosing to be a good hero or a bad hero and how your kingdom's going to fare? And what the hell was that? Did you see how that thing was flailing right there? That's kind of weird. But, like, those things are so key to the games, and those games would not be the same without it, which is what worries me so much about if the reboot doesn't have it. Because the reboot would not be the same as if it did have it, and I think it will only benefit by having it. So to me, for Fable not to be a big red flag going forward, I think in the next trailer, I would want to see a bit more of that morality play out. This is one of those things that kind of worries me about character customization, because in every single trade we've seen, the hero looks the exact same. There are no physical changes in anything. We aren't even wearing different armor. Which, and I really hope this isn't the case, but it leads me to wonder if there is any character customization at all. And if not, then our character might just not change appearances at all. Which of course would mean that the choices we make in the game aren't going to physically affect our character. Which again is just such a key element to the formula we've all become accustomed to these days. Like, I know that this is an old game and an old series, and they're rebooting it, and honestly, I think they're doing great work. I think it looks fantastic, and I could not be more hyped. Trust me, I've got nothing but green flags so far, but every now and then, things like this seep in, and I start to let it linger at the back of my mind, like, we do need to be cautious about Fable. We really do, and morality is one of those things where I think we need to be very cautious on if we're going to get it or not. There's a couple other things which, if you guys want separate videos on, let me know. I'll really want to talk about the family and the renting system and all these things that were just really integral to the gameplay of the game. But for me, one of the small, more worrying things really is the morality system. If we don't see a return in the reboot, that might mean we never see a return if they decide to do sequels. One thing that I think we need to remember here, and this is myself included and I keep falling victim to it, is this isn't Fable 4, this is not building upon a foundation, this is starting from the ground floor. We are laying the foundation here. And that is important. But if we start to build this franchise on a shoddy foundation, it's going to crumble. We need to have the solid basics down. Like, at the end of the day, stuff like how long this game is, how long the story is, how replayable it is all important, but if we don't get Fable's core identity down, then the game can be 60 hours long, be really replayable, and it still won't feel like Fable. Which is why things like the morality matter. And they really do. And I'm not just oversaying it or overhyping it. I truly mean it with my whole heart. I think that they are such important systems. And the games are not the same without them. So, that being said, I pray that Fable in the future shows off these systems. And again, this isn't me saying I don't think we'll have it. This is just me saying we haven't seen it so far. And obviously those are very different situations. Anyways, I think I've waffled on about the morality system for long enough now, but let me know down below if you guys want more videos on these small little features that I'm worried about, kind of talking about why they're important. I like to think that my videos are kind of like a fan request to the developers of Fable. Like, they could watch where I'm coming from and understand why the systems are important, and that's why I like making these videos. Like, talking about morality, I hope that when I give, like, my insight as to why it was so important, to stuff like brand recognition, the replayability of the game, and just general gameplay mechanics, I like to think that they could perhaps even see one of these videos one day and go, hang on, he's got a point, and kind of build off it. And obviously, I'm not saying that's the point for these videos, but that's always how I like to, like, frame these videos, as if I'm not trying to criticize, but trying to, like, almost guide as a fan as to what would not disappoint us. So yeah, if you want more videos in that style, do let me know. I'm more than happy to take a look into some of the other systems that I really do worry about and want to learn more about. I'm still incredibly excited for the Fable reboot, and man, 2025 cannot come fast enough. Anyways though, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.